think everyone's taking to the new information?
It's been great from the time that we started this thing off. It wasn't like last year was how we wanted to end it. So everybody's hungry, and we started off talking about what it was to end the season and losing a home playoff game and how that's not why we do what we're doing right now. So you can see the hunger in guys to be able to push on into the playoffs and make a run. And you can tell through the meeting rooms, the questions they're asking, the stuff we're getting done on the field has been, I wouldn't want to compare it exactly to this point last year, but you feel like you're even a step further because we didn't change a lot in the system. And now it can get into the nuances of route running and how we're hitting blocks and getting into the shape we need to get into. So they've been hungry. Nobody's resting on any of the statistical success we had last year because ultimately, team-wise and in the playoffs is far from what we're trying to do.
Hello, Bucs fans. Welcome back to the channel. As you heard, Bucs offense coordinator Josh Grizzard talking about the offense so far into the 2025 season and how they're preparing for it, getting ready, having continuity in the scheme and in the system, and how players can now focus on more of the details, the nuances, and stuff like that. But he mentioned at the end there not relying on the success of last year. And that's my main purpose of this video, talking about how the Buccaneers offense is motivated to surpass last year's success under Liam Cohen. And as you see there, the Buccaneers were one of the top offenses in the league, top 5 in pretty much every category that mattered. I mean, you look at points per game, yards per game, yards per play, everything from rushing and throwing. They were a very good offensive team. And I think it's cool to see like the Bucs are not resting on those laurels of the offensive success last year. They're finding ways to improve and try to get better. And that's a big aspect that they're going to depend on this year. And looking at it, you have pretty much the same offensive personnel coming back, which I think is a huge starting point to begin with. Not only the same personnel, but you added to that group with Emeka Ibuka. You still have a lot of good depth in your receiving core, your running back room, and now along the offensive line, you have the same starting 5. So I think just that synergy that you're going to bring to the offense, and now Josh Grizzard implementing some new things that he wants to tweak and make the offense more diverse and more just not staying stagnant, trying to evolve and continue to get better. And hopefully it can be one of the better offenses again this year. But with that said, I want to play a clip of Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans talking about the Buccaneers offense and how they feel with the same playbook and just new wrinkles that are going to be added. They can play faster and play better, but also more control of the offense. And Baker touches on that, but let's hear from them both as we play the clip.
Offense that you're picking up in year 2, you don't have to switch around. How much better can you guys be with that?
I love it. I love having that consistency with the playbook, because it's really extremely hard to learn a new playbook. If for people that haven't played football, it's especially at this level, it's tough, but it makes it way easier for us. We can play fast, don't have to think, and then add things to it, so it can take offense to the next level.
In a row, and word is you're going to get more responsibility at the line of scrimmage. How does that help you and the team just take this to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the foundation that we tried to, instill last year, and we obviously evolved throughout the year and the season. So it's nice to be able for guys to not have to learn it from scratch. There's obviously a few tweaks and things, motions and different things that Grizz wants to get done, which is great to always. If you're not trying to get better, you're not going to survive. So we're doing that right now. And so for me, it's continuing to communicate, over-communicate at the line of scrimmage. That was a big step last year, was the responsibility at the line of scrimmage, like you mentioned, but take it to the next level. Really, really take ownership, over-communicate to where when we get a certain pressure or coverage, guys know what I'm going to check to, and that's the part that I have to continue to try and elevate everybody else around me and take that ownership.
Yeah, there you go. Like just taking ownership, like Baker Mayfield talked about. Also, very good points made by Mike Evans, not having to learn a new playbook, being able to just do more adjusting to what you already know, and that is the offense, the scheme. A lot of those specific details are going to remain the same. So that's huge for not only Baker and Mike Evans, but the rest of the offense, where they can fine tune things, they can get better, they understand what they're doing, they don't have to relearn anything. It's just adding more to the repertoire and just being that much more dialed in. And I also liked how Baker talked about how he can now, over communicate and help these guys. Like if they need to make a check or something, everyone's on the same page and they can be that much more dynamic against opposing defenses and cause more chaos in that regard. But when you look at this offense, they have everything it takes in place to be very successful or even more successful than they were last year. You have the talent, especially in the running back room, Bucky Irving, Rashad White, Baker Mayfield, I think having that continuity coming into an offense that he knows, and now he can take full control like he spoke of there. It just allows everyone to be playing faster and you don't have to think as much and you can really hit the ground running. And I think that's going to be important. And obviously starts up front with the big guys and Tristan Wirfs. You got Ben Bredesen, Graham Barton, Cody Mock, Luke Gedeke, all returning. And they should be that much better when you think about it. It's going to be cool to see what type of wrinkles and other things and other facets that Josh Grizzard implements. And that's something that we'll talk in another video, talking about how there could be more vertical elements in this offense to create more explosives. But when you look at these stats right here, I mean, this is very impressive numbers. I don't know if it's, something that they need to surpass. But I think if they can be in the top 10 yet again and be a more consistent, more efficient offense and maybe reduce more of the turnovers that they struggled with last year, if they can find a way to manage that, not lose as many fumbles, just be more efficient, especially inside the red zone, third down, stuff like that. I mean, the sky is truly the limit for this offense. So it'll be exciting to see what happens. But hope you enjoyed this video talking about the Bucs offense. They look really poised to bring something new to the table this year in 2025. And it should be a lot of fun to watch this unit grow and develop and get even better than they were last year. So with that said, be sure to hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts of the Bucs offense. What do you think? What can we expect from this unit going into 2025? Love to hear from you. And with that said, we're going to flip it over to Luke Gedeke as he talks about the Bucs offense heading into this year.
How much better can you guys get as you get the same coach and the same system, and you had so much success in the run game last year? How much better can it get with the continuity here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the sky's the limit for our O-line and our offense as a whole. I mean, I'd like to see our offense just as best O-line and best offense in the National Football League. I feel like that's a goal among every team, but I would say we're definitely a team who's that's achievable. I mean, everyone strives for that, and that's great and everything, but I think the Bucs here, as we stand today, I think they're in a good spot to achieve that this year.